All right, welcome to our first edition of Weather Chat here on North Alabama Storm Chase. We are simulcasting on Facebook and YouTube. I hope you pop in because at the end of the show, we're going to give away a free NOAA weather radio. So if you're one of the first 12 people that comment or ask a weather question, or just say hello and tell us where you're from. The first 12 people, I will jot your name down and we'll put you on the wheel. At the end of the show, whenever that is, we'll spin it. So the first 12 people that pop in. So, and if we only have six, that's all we've got is six. So we've got five, that's all we've got. We've got one person, we'll put your name on there and we'll spin it. I guess you'll be the winner. All right, so what you're seeing is on the screen is live radar. You see some showers rolling through our area here in North Alabama and just coming through southern Tennessee. Most of the weather that's convective type stuff is further down south past Birmingham. As you see over into Georgia. A lot of special weather statements. I know earlier through Jackson County, or close to Jackson County, there was a severe thunderstorm warning for a brief moment. And then they had a special weather statement, but it is gone. So looks like a lot of this rain is dissipating right now. Might experience some extra showers and thunderstorms over this evening. So be weather aware. As I know the National Weather Service have us under a marginal risk for strong to severe storms. But other than that, this is Weather Chat. So once again, you can watch us here on Facebook or simulcast over on YouTube. You can pop in your question or just say hello or comment. Let us know where you're watching from. I am proud to have the man, the myth, the legend, Chris Burns.
Hey, Bobby, thanks for having me again tonight. I'm looking forward to this.
No problem. Hey, I heard Sasquatch has got a grainy video of you. That's how legendary he is. He's the myth. Chris
oh
Burns,
my
Chris
goodness!
Burns.
Yeah, okay, I'll remember that. That's the first I've heard of it.
No, Chris Burns is a friend of ours, one of our storm spotters. Does a great job. He does a lot of work over on North Alabama Storm Spotter page. I'll go over to North Alabama Storm Spotters, or Storm Spotters of North Alabama, I should say, and go to that page on Facebook. Look at all the great stuff him and the other spotters we have posting over. I know we've got Chris Barnes, Candace, April, Taryn, Mike, and a few others. Joshua, a lot of them over there that post a lot of stuff. Get out in this bad weather and keep you informed. What you got going on tonight, Chris?
Well, Bobby, I've had a couple of people that have questioned why so much rain this year compared to what we had last year. I've got a friend of mine down in the Coleman area. His name's Paul, and I think the way you pronounce his last name's Hennel. And forgive me, Paul, if that's not right. And I rode motorcycles with this guy for 3 years. But he and I were talking the other day, and he posed that question to me. So I said, well, it's too much to type, so let's just cover it tonight. So, Bobby, if you don't mind, can you explain why are we seeing so much rain this year?
Because it's wet. No. Well, me and you already talked previously of before we dropped on live. The jet stream has lifted to north into Canada. But let me put it this way. If you ever been to Florida and it's real hot, beautiful day, and automatically you have these storms, you can expect it to rain in Florida about every afternoon.
Yes.
So that's the mode we sit in this time of year. Late June, July, August, where the atmosphere gets extremely hot. Guess what? Mother Nature likes to cool it off a little bit. So you start getting storms and these showers that pop up and kind of cool it off. I told Chris, I went outside before we did live broadcast. We had a little shower here, but it didn't cool it off a lot because there wasn't a lot of rain. Still muggy out there, but yeah. And we just get these disturbances that roll through because of the heating of the atmosphere. And I'm sick of the rain too. I have to cut grass twice a week. So it kills me. I cut it and it rains, and 2 days later it's growing again. I know everybody's sick of the rain. It's part of it. Mother Nature, she don't play fair. we'll look at here later on before we have our spin of the wheel for free NOAA weather radio. I've got the 4th of July forecast. So we'll look at it here later. People will probably be happy. Now that's as of right now. What you'll see here later. But yeah, it's just if you've ever been to Florida, like I said, you'll go down there and it'll be nice all day, and then bam, storms start firing. Just the heating of the atmosphere, and these storms start firing up, especially if there's a dry line. And there's other conditions that cause it. And like I said, there's a lot of disturbances that pop up. So, if this happened probably April, May, then we'd start looking at more conducive types for severe weather, because the atmosphere is warm, especially if you get those cold fronts in, those dry lines, they start clashing, and we start getting a lot of that severe type weather. Basically, these are like summertime thunderstorms. Not saying we couldn't see a tornado next week or 2 weeks down the road. We're in the South. We see tornadoes 12 months out of the year.
Right.
But that's about the best way. Mother Nature, God's in control. That's the best edge I can get.
While you were explaining that, Bobby, I got a text here that says, please get him to explain, what is the jet stream?
Well, that's a good question. Jet stream is if you've ever been on a flight, and a lot of planes they'll ride that jet stream, and you can get there quicker. I'm just joking. But no, the jet stream is a column of air that goes through, and sometimes it sinks further down to the south. And a lot of storms will ride off of that. But to be honest with you, I technically don't really know the correct answer, but I know it is a strong column of air that's in the atmosphere. I can't remember right off the top of my head. People just forgive me because I've been painting all day and I am exhausted. But I still want to do this. But
yeah. While you were doing that, Bobby, I went ahead and looked it up, and you are absolutely on target. A narrow, variable band of very strong, predominantly western air currents encircling the globe. Several miles above the Earth. So basically, it's like a pathway through the woods, but in the air, so to speak.
Yep. And you get a lot of turbulence off that. I go back to if you've ever been on a plane flight somewhere and you get strong turbulence, that jet stream causes a lot of that. So yeah, it's a large column of air. It directs a lot of our weather patterns. Weather storms go south, north. And it really affects this time of year for tropical development, especially in the Gulf or Atlantic or Pacific. Jet stream is a driving mechanism. Is what I was wanting to say.
Yeah. So, and look at you being all professional, and you just opened the door to the next question. Some of our members have had. What do we think about the upcoming hurricane season? Is it going to be bad? And folks, we're not magicians. We can predict the weather, and we have all kind of software and technology. But Mother Nature, like Bobby said, Mother Nature's still Mother Nature. But give us your take, Bobby, on what you think is how you think the hurricane season is going to go this year.
Really, if you've noticed off the Pacific, they've had quite a few storms. I know Hurricane Flossie, I think this morning was a Category 2. I had checked the latest on it. Like I said, I've been painting all day. So there's a lot going over in the Pacific right now. And the reason being is the water temperatures are right. The current, the steering mechanism, the jet stream is pulling everything up to the north, off of Mexico.
Right.
With us in the Gulf and Atlantic right now, we've had the Gulf waters and Atlantic battling a lot of the Saharan dust.
Yes.
And so that really kills off a lot of instability for hurricanes to form. And there's a lot of parameters that have to take place for a hurricane. And really, we're into our season, not even a quarter of the way. I expect the hurricane season will start ramping up by end of August and September. And once again, watch Mother Nature throw me a curveball.
And that wouldn't be like her, would it?
No. She don't play fair. But typically the peak time for the Gulf and the Atlantic is end of August, September. Now that we still could get hurricanes. I know there was like a 20 to 30% chance for tropical development in the Gulf within the next 7 days. So I feel sorry for y'all people that may be going to Disney in Orlando for the fourth, because you're probably going to get a lot of rain. Because all that tropical moisture is going to move in, and it's going to basically move in through Central Florida, and probably rain there for a few days. But yeah, a lot of hair and dust, and really, you know, those systems start moving off the continent of Africa, and once they get in the warm waters of the Atlantic, like I said, most likely those waters will warm up by at least the end of August, September. Because I know the peak time. I know of a lot of weather forecasters I've been watching. They're saying end of August, September. So people are saying right now, well, nothing's happening. Well, we've had a couple. Barry was the last one that happened in the Gulf, but he just within I think 12 to 36, 24 hours he was fizzled out. It was just remnants after that.
Yeah, because tell me if I'm remembering correctly. Barry formed so close to land. I'm just kind of hugging the northern part of the Mexican peninsula, right?
Yep. It was right there. And if it would have been further out in the Gulf, it might have some type of stronger tropical development. But I really did. I knew as soon as it stayed over land, it wasn't going to just fizzle out and just be remnants. It didn't take it long to do that. But we're going to be watching this next down in the Gulf, looking for tropical development. I don't think it'll be a hurricane. It'll be a lot of tropical disturbance probably that'll put buckets of rain in Florida. We still don't have no viewers. I want people to comment. Comment if you want to get into this contest and win this free NOAA weather radio. I'm paying for shipping and all of that. So you happen to watch. If not, I guess I'll keep a weather radio for next month.
Okay, well, I think over on we have a couple of viewers over on the Skywarn Storm Spotter page, because I'm sharing your live. And folks, we encourage your participation. We do everything we do out of pocket, and we appreciate the support and encouragement. And I think special thank you to Chris Barnes, who opened back up our page so that people can actually post their own pictures now. And somebody also asked me this: are you guys trying to compete with James Spann? Absolutely not. But that does lead me to my next question, which I'll get in just a minute. But if you can share your stuff with us, it really encourages us and lets us know that what we're doing is not in vain. So going forward with that, please help us out by posting your pictures, sending us questions. We'll be more than happy to do it. Am I not right, Bobby?
That's right. Pictures. Now we don't want you to put yourself in harm's way. But if you can sit on the front porch and you've got hail falling, you can take a picture safely. We don't want you to go out and do what we do, but in your yard, and there's a tornado about 100 yards away. We don't want you doing that. If you've got any pictures of flooding, hail, any type of damage like trees down or anything like that, that really helps us. We like those pictures. A lot of EMA people might go across our page and see that and say, "Oh, we didn't know there was trees down," or power lines down. We need to hit that area. So yeah, your pictures are welcome.
Yep, and that led, like I said, that leads me to the next thing. Bobby, I know you and I and Chris had dinner not long ago, and we covered a lot of subjects in a couple hours. But one of the subjects was the local meteorologist, and they've taken a lot of heat this year. I know one in particular. I won't call any names, but I have been. A question posed to me was, what is the relationship like normally between spotters / chasers and the local celebrity type or non-celebrity type meteorologists? Do we have a good relationship? Some people have said that we don't work well together. I beg to differ. So I'll let you elaborate on that if you don't mind.
Oh yeah. I believe our local meteorologists, they would probably be the first to tell anyone that spotters are very crucial in weather forecasting, especially with severe weather. Because you have to think about it. The forecast or the meteorologist is in their studio, local. They're not out like we are, and they are capable of reading radar, but we're the eyes in the sky. So if we give them reports and they see it on radar, they can say, "Yep, you know, they correspond with us, and vice versa. We correspond with them and give them information. You know, because we're there on the scene, we're putting our lives at risk, and they take what we've got and confirm it by radar. You know, that's the reason. You know, I've had some spotters in the past give false reports just so they can get their name out there. We don't do that. That's just putting people in danger, and it's not good. But yeah, I think we have a good rapport with all our local meteorologists. Now they don't want these so-called wannabe weather pages. They don't want them doing their own thing and saying there's a tornado when there's not, and they're not don't have the knowledge that we have. I'm not a degreed meteorologist by any means. I've always posted it on my page, but I've known doing this since 2015. I've learned over the years, so I don't put anything out there that's Bobby's thoughts or ideas. I use anything from National Weather Service, WeatherBug, Storm Prediction Center. I only post reliable stuff. But yeah, I think there, you have a couple out there that, or maybe a handful that just do it because people will follow them because it's like watching NASCAR. People watch NASCAR because they want to see the wreck. People will go to these pages because they like crazy stuff, and they want to get in on the page, and they'll donate money to them and all this. That's not what we're in for. We want you to donate the money to our page, especially mine, because I turn around and buy relief effort supplies. It don't go in my pocket. I don't put it in my truck for gas. I don't take my family on trips on it. I take my water tarps, weather radios. Like we're going to have this giveaway, hopefully, if people will comment during this live broadcast. But yeah, I think we've got a good thing with local meteorologists. They don't mention us a lot, but they know that we give valuable information to them, and even through EMA directors, ham radio operators. We can't forget about them. They are a valuable resource, and we correspond with each and every one. EMA directors, ham radio operators. That's how they get their information.
Right. And guys, again, like Bobby said, we don't get up every morning and go outside and look up in the sky and say, well, I'm going to guess this is what's going to happen today. We get a lot of our information. Matter of fact, 99% of the information that the Skywarn Storm Spotters and Bobby both use are from the National Weather Service in Huntsville, the local office there. But it all comes out of Norman, Oklahoma. That's the main deal there. So we are in it to win it. And it is a thankless job sometimes, but we're not in this to be thanked or a pat on the back. We do what we do because we care about the community, and we want to make sure that we can warn the community when severe weather is an issue.
Exactly. Like we always tell people, we're running into the storms when you're running away from them.
Yeah.
That's how crazy we are. I've always said my wife, try she don't up the insurance policy on me. That's a whole nother ball game. Yeah, I'm looking on Weather Channel right now. They're showing Hurricane Flossie, Category 2. Winds of 110 miles per hour, moving northwest at 7. So it's staying right off the coast of Mexico. Going to miss Puerto Vallarta. So it'll be heading out to the Pacific. But I'm pretty sure they got some gusty winds. I know they had tropical storm watches and well, they've got a tropical storm warning now for Mexico. That's from that right quadrant off the hurricane. Some strong winds probably coming through there.
Bobby, do you have a later update on Flossie other than the 1 p.m. I'm seeing now? Central pressure was 966 millibars and the max wind was 110. Do you have anything updated from that, or is that
It's
what you?
it's still a category two is what they're showing now. I'm watching it on television.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my brother Rick Nab here, he's all over it. I love Rick Nab. He's a hurricane specialist. He used to be the director of the Hurricane Center, so he knows what he's talking about. It's got a good strong eye on it, but it's still Cat 2. It might go Cat 3, but depends. It might start moving out the Pacific cooler waters by Thursday or Friday, and probably be downgraded to at least one or a tropical storm.
Well,
I've never known.
I'm hoping that this year we don't have. And Bobby, I think you've been here most of your life, right? All your life in Alabama.
I have.
Okay, so in our era, I should say, of growing up, we have seen quite a few hurricanes that came blasting up through the Gulf and made landfall anywhere from Corpus Christi, Houston, all the way over to Mobile and Panhandle of Florida. And as we talked about last time, Hurricane Camille, I can remember driving through the coastal areas there, and I mean, huge tanker ships and things like that on dry ground where this thing had set them up on dry ground. So that was my awakening to weather, if you will. Real quick, I wanted to ask you a quick question to see if you can see this. I wanted to show you something with this, Bobby. I know you've probably already seen it. If I can get it to come up, I think there we go. If you'll notice that, can you see that?
Yeah, I can see. Yeah.
Okay, if you'll notice that little oblong bean-looking thing has shifted a little more up the East Coast. That wasn't like that. So, are we still in the 20% margin of that thing possibly developing anything over the next
while? It'll probably go up to 40%.
Okay.
That's the reason I'm saying a lot of that rain is going to be right there in Central Florida, and it'll be a lot of rain for those people. Well, all I can say is just buy waterproof fireworks.
Waterproof fireworks. Oh, that reminds me, you were going to give us a forecast for Friday around here, right?
Yeah, let me pull that up. Let me see if I can find it here. It's on my graphic. There we go. Yeah, this is as of right now, 4th of July forecast for the daytime. Temperature of 93, no % chance of rain. Winds are going to be calm. And then nighttime, 70, the temperature, no rain, and winds will be calm. So it looks like a beautiful 4th of July forecast as of right now. But like we've talked about, Mother Nature, sometimes she has her own way of doing things. Well, let's hold on to that forecast for now. Wish for the best. I've already got people here in my neighborhood blowing up the yard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're popping them every night. They'll be popping them tonight. I wish I had their money.
That would be nice. One other thing I wanted to say, Bobby, is I appreciate, like I said, the members of both of our pages. I think you have about 4,000 more members than we do, but the people that are consistent. I even have, believe this or not, I have family members that live where I was born out in Central Texas that actually monitor both of our pages because they say we do a good job on explaining things. And here's the thing that I love about the way we all work together, you and us, is they said that we get information out fairly quickly.
Yep.
And I'll be honest with you, Bobby, I have this built-in mechanism that if I get distracted or have to walk to the mailbox and I come back in and I see that there's been a special weather statement that happened 2 minutes ago, I kind of feel bad that I hadn't already got it up. I mean, I don't know if that's how you feel.
No, me and you both. Well, I say, I missed that one.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't like to have anything more than 5 minutes. Now that has happened to me in the past, but just so you guys know, also I have to be reminded by the family here, Chris, this is a voluntary, thing you guys are doing. So we may not always get it within the first minute or two, but we're always going to make sure that you have the information, regardless of how long it takes us to get it up there. But we really do put in a hard effort to try to get in there as quick as possible. I want to give a quick shout out to Carol Marks. She's a good friend of mine. Also to Paul Hennel. Again, like I said, I appreciate his question. Brandon Mills, if you're out there listening or watching, which he usually is, thank you all so much for the contributions and the questions. I mean, I get so many questions during the week. Several people, and let me tell you, when I get the most questions, Bobby, is when we're deployed out to spot. That's when my phone blows up. How about
Oh
you?
yeah. Oh yeah. People want to know what's going on. What's going to happen when I live. Yeah, where I live. And a lot of times we can't answer those because we got to have our head on a swivel and see what's going on ourselves. So, we
Yes.
can't give personal forecasts when we're out, spotting storms. We wish we could, but it takes away from what we're doing, and we can't think of just one individual person. We have to think of the community as a whole. So before we go on any further, I want to remind people, if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, if you're one of the first 12 people that get in and say hello or comment or want to ask a question, we'll put you in on the wheel, and we'll spin it into this broadcast, and you'll have a chance of winning a free NOAA weather radio. But if nobody wants to get in and comment, we'll save the weather radio for next month when we do this. And I really enjoy this. I want to do this at least once a month, maybe twice a month. A lot of times we won't have a drawing, but a lot of times that gives the community an opportunity to jump on, ask questions, meet a spotter that you don't know of. Hopefully we can get other spotters in our community on. I also invite other storm chase, whether you're in Mississippi, Georgia, Tennessee, Florida. If you're watching this and you want to jump in and push your brand. If it's legit, you do the right thing, I'll be more than happy to put you on camera and let you push your page or whatever.
And in saying that, Bobby, again, I want to reiterate how much I've joined a couple of spotter Facebook pages outside of our southern area here, and the folks in North Dakota, folks, if you hadn't, and I'm sure you have seen it, because Bobby and I, all of us at both of our Facebook pages, North Dakota was pretty much slammed bad over the last 2 weeks, 8 days to 14 days. And so I've made some good friends on there. If you'd like to donate to them, I can get you some information, because there's several people up in the North Dakota area that got slammed. I mean, houses completely destroyed. And it's good to be able to contact and make friends with people outside our region, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether you're on the storm spotting team in Minnesota, North Dakota, California. We're all family when it comes to that, and we all want to help prevent any kind of injuries. So the quicker we can get warnings out there, and I'm just going to give you a quick example. I was monitoring some storms about a month and a half ago that were really going. It's when the tornadoes tore up Kentucky so bad, but that whole line was coming up through Kansas and everywhere like that, and I was able to post a few things on a different page, and someone from Plevna, I think that's the name of the city in Kansas, the next day private messaged me and said, "Thank you for your warning. Believe it or not, your warning I saw first, and my family was able to get out of the house and go take cover in a storm shelter." And I'm not telling you guys that to toot my own horn or anything like that, but it made me feel like, hey, all this stuff that we do and that we have to pay for out of our own pockets, at least it saved a life, and that makes it all worth it for me. How about you, Bobby?
Exactly. If you just reach one person, that's what matters the most. Yeah, it's that's the reason we do what we do. I mean, we might have people that we never meet, never run into that are watching not on North Alabama, Southern Tennessee. They might be watching from Mississippi. They might be watching from Georgia, Florida. That's the reason I try and give like mountain forecast for Gatlinburg, because I know we probably have families here that drive up there and they want to know what the weather is, and they don't want to take time out to look the weather out. Or if they are going down to the Gulf Shores or Panama City, I'll do those on Wednesday. I'll give you the weekend forecast that way if you're driving down. Yeah, we have people that are watching from a long distance. I had a guy one time. I think he recently passed away. I don't know, but he was watching from Colorado.
Nice.
and he kept saying he lived here in North Alabama. I can't remember the exact town he lived in, but he said, "Man, I watch you all the time. You're on." But he was in Colorado. He said he wanted to get out of North Alabama and had something to do with his business. Yeah, he moved up to Colorado and really enjoyed it. But you're like my lifeline to North Alabama since I've moved to Colorado. He said, all we get up here is snow. And
Well, and
strong
that's another thing
winds.
too, Bobby. I've got some relatives out in Central Texas, and he's actually my uncle. And at some point not long ago, he was asking, how we got this organized. And I think that there's their interest out there has peaked certain groups. Now, just like in Alabama, I don't know how many different groups we have here on Facebook that, chasers, spotters, whatever. But he is actually interested in getting his own page started out there, and it's because of what we do here in Alabama, and he's monitored that. So
Exactly.
yeah, so that's what makes it all worth it, to me.
Well, if the technology is out there, I'm going to use it for the best interest of the community. I could do anything. I'm a big Alabama football fan, so I could be doing Alabama football live or something. I could just try and sell something. But I try and sell weather. Whether people donate or not, I'm going to be here as long as the Lord lets me. So I'm going to use the technology. Back in the day, it was just a Nokia flip phone with a bad camera and no radio. So I've evolved as the caveman. I'm over the years, and I've put a lot of money into it. I enjoy doing it. It's a hobby, just like people collect stamps or baseball cards. It's something I love to do. And if it helps one person, it's well worth it.
Yep.
I don't believe we're going to have viewers comment. They must be shy on a Tuesday evening. Well, once again, we're still here. We might be here another 5-10 minutes. I don't want to hold Chris too much longer, and I'm worn out from painting. But if you're here watching, I guess we'll hold on to the NOAA Weather Radio. We'll do this again maybe in a couple of weeks. I don't need a NOAA Weather Radio. If somebody wants one, let me know. I've got radar systems. I've got stuff on my phone. That's my NOAA Weather Radio. I don't need one. I've already got one. I don't ever plug it up. I'm always watching the weather. So
yeah. Hey, Bobby, real quick, I don't have the info in front of me, and if you don't either, that's fine. And what we can do is post it on both of our pages. Had a gentleman I had lunch with today that I think he's a member of both of our pages. I'll have to check back and see. But he said, "What do I have to do to become a storm spotter?" So if you don't mind, could you tell everybody what we need to do?
All right. You can go to National Weather Service page. Just type in your search bar. You put NAT, and it'll automatically pop up National Weather Service. And then I believe you scroll down at the bottom of the page, and you'll see it'll say there's a lot of titles at the bottom. It'll say Storm Spotters. You click on that link. That'll take you to the Storm Spotters page, and then it'll show you if each community or county is having a Storm Spotter seminar or training session or a webinar. If you don't want to do that, you can go to Birmingham National Weather Service. A lot of them do webinars. Or you can go to meted.com and type when you get in. I want you to. You can sign up. It's free. And then you can log in, and you can type in Storm Spotter training, and it'll pop up two basic training sessions that you have, and I think they're about an hour and a half, 2 hours long. You actually go through, and it'll give you the training portion. You can read everything that way, and you can write it down, and take the test. And then if you want me to receive your score, a passing score, then you just put my email address, which is Bama, B-A-M-A, Bob, B-O-B, 2006@yahoo.com. You put that where it says supervisor instructor, and I will receive your score. That way I know if you passed or not. I'm not over that. It gives people, and then you can download your certificate, print it out and all that. But it's two basic courses. But I know some of them, Birmingham, Huntsville, sometimes they do an advanced course. But yeah, go to the National Weather Service or and type storm spotters, or like I said, scroll to the bottom of the page, and it'll have storm spotters. You click on that link, and it'll take you through to the storm spotters page.
All right, Bobby. I think that's about all I've got for the night. I want to tell you how much I appreciate you inviting me in, and like you said earlier, I hope that we can get Mike Payton to come on board, because I've recently given him a new nickname. He is the Professor, and I've learned a whole lot from him. That's why I drag. I think I've messed up by telling him that I purposely drag him to other spots of the nation when things aren't severe here. I'll drag him cyberspace out there and say, "Hey, look at all this stuff going on out in Midwest," and I really learn a lot from him and you, Chris Barnes, several of them, and I hope that we can. I was thinking a minute ago. There's a first Saturday in Fayetteville every month, and maybe we can get a booth or something set up there one day and let some of the people come by. I've had several people say they'd like to meet the storm spotting teams. So,
well, to be honest with you, I had a chance last year, but something come up, and I wasn't able to attend. But I had met the guy the other day that does a lot of the big car shows, and they're having one at the Civic Center in Huntsville, August 9th. And he come up, he said, "Man," he said, "I sure would like for you to come. Set up a table. You can bring your chase vehicle inside, and set up a table, and hand out flyers and all of that." And I said, "Man, I'm going to be out of town, so I won't be able to do that." But yeah, he invited. He said, "Man, maybe one of these years we'll hook up." He does a lot of the car shows. I'll have to get with him and see if he's got any other car shows coming up. Before that, we can go and post that information. Maybe y'all can meet us out there. Yeah, August 9th, they're having one of the biggest car shows I think in the South. Is the way he put it. They did it last year and had a big turnout.
Sweet. Well, all right. Like I said, Bobby, thank you so much. It's always an honor for you to ask me to be on your live broadcast, and if I can help you out in the future, let me know.
Well, no problem. Maybe we can get some of these other yahoos on here one of these days. And I guess I'm going to keep a free weather radio in dust in the box. So I guess we'll keep it for the next. Maybe we can do this in a couple of weeks.
Yes,
we'll get back on. So get your viewers over there to ask questions. I know a lot of people are shy, probably asleep right now, or eating supper. But yeah, I appreciate you coming on. Once again, that's the reason he's the man, he's the myth, the legend. And now we have the professor. I don't want to know what they call me, but yeah, the man, the myth, the legend, Chris Burns, Professor Mike Pate. We got to come up with one for Chris Barnes.
Yes, we do.
All right, Chris. I'm fixing to get out here myself. Enjoy the rest of my evening. And matter of fact, I got to get on here and put some weather graph together for tomorrow morning when I wake up. Post that stuff. But I do appreciate you coming on and sharing some insight on a lot of things, and sharing what's on your heart. All right, let's give it up. Let me see if I can do this right here. Let's give it up for I don't know where it's at. Here it is. Let's give it up for Chris Burns. I haven't played with these buttons a lot, so I've got an applause button. Thank you very much.
That's awesome. Thank you.
All right, man. All right, Chris. I appreciate you coming on. And have a good evening. We'll see you next time.
All right, man. God bless you.
All right, you too, man. All right, we're going to close out for this evening. So we'll probably try and do this in a couple of weeks, and see if we can give away this weather radio. Once again, all you have to do is comment or ask a question. We'll be right here for you. So this is Bobby with North Alabama Storm Chase. If you're watching and didn't want to comment, appreciate you watching. Always want you to like our page, follow it. We're simulcast on Facebook and YouTube. Want you on Facebook to follow, like, and share, and comment. During these live broadcasts, I want you to send stars. That helps me earn that digital gift that helps me earn money for relief effort supplies. If you're watching on YouTube, I want you to subscribe over there. It's free. We're trying to get up the super chat, and a lot of times on my graphics, you can see the QR codes for the Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. You scan it, PayPal or Venmo or Cash App, and donate that way. Before I get out here, I always say, wherever you go, no matter what the weather, always bring your own sunshine. This is Bobby Barnett with a Skywarn Storm Spotter with North Alabama Storm Chase, wishing you a wonderful Tuesday evening. Check you next time.